Good morning, ladies and gents. I hope you're doing well and having an awesome day. So I wanted to talk more about these family vlogging channels today, and one thing that, I've been thinking about with regards to them recently, and obviously why I have a problem with them and what they do. So you think about it, right? I guess let's look at the Ingham family, for example. They get, 20 to 30,000 views a day. They put their hits out there on the internet, they get 20 to 30,000 views a day. How do they know that any of the people are watching their hits every day are not pedos and child predators? This is the thing, it's like a lot of these family vloggers, right, they're putting their hits out there online. It's like, how do they know that for definite that there's not that there aren't the paedophiles and child predators and not watching videos of their kids? How do they know for sure that people with dodgy intentions and not watching videos of their kids and watching and saving videos of their kids? There's probably a lot of footage and images of these family vlog hits on the dark web, to be fairly honest. A lot of people like the Inghams, and I just think to myself, like, how do Chris and Sarah even sleep at night knowing that their hits are out there online for the whole world to see? Because if I was a parent, that is something that would probably worry me no less, no bounds. Probably not that I would even put my kids out there online anyway. The problem with a lot of family vloggers these days is they're not really, a lot of these parents are not really bothered about the sort of dangers that they're exposing their kids to on a regular basis. Some of them are, exposing their kids to, pedos and whatnot on a daily basis. Half of them don't care about child safety. The only thing that most of them really care about is making money off of their kids. They don't care about, they don't stop to think about who might actually be watching, these videos of their kids, and why they might be watching the videos of these kids. To be honest, it doesn't bear thinking about why some people will actually are watching the videos of these kids and what they're looking to do with that. And it's something that a lot of these family vloggers do need to be thinking more about, because they don't think about it, or they don't think about it enough. It's just hilarious. I look at the Inghams and you can tell that their heart just isn't really in it now. Like, their heart's not in it anymore. The heart used to be in it a lot more than, it used to be in it a lot more before than it is now. It feels like these days, all the Inghams are really doing is just taking constant shots at the trolls and haters. It feels like the content they're putting out on YouTube is aimed more at the trolls and haters than it is their actual life. Yesterday's vlog was just another massive clickbait, claiming that the girls have been given a wake-up call, which was an absolute bullcrap, because the girls were already fully dressed, so it wasn't exactly a wake-up call, so a bit of a clickbait, And this is why it kind of makes me laugh when the AI fans are saying, oh, it's like, rate vlog, talking about how great the vlogs are. Because the vlogs are now, they're just a massive clickbait these days. That's what Chris and Sarah are doing, is resorting to clickbait most of the time, because they're that desperate for views. We can all see how desperate they are for views these days, But as I said, it's not just them that needs to think about it, but a lot of family vloggers need to think about who might be watching their vlogs and why they might be watching their vlogs. I have seen a few, let's just say a few not so good comments on Isabel and Esme's social media platforms. Remember, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago, I was watching a video that Esme put up on her channel, and I was reading the comments, and someone had posted a comment on Esme's video asking if she was sexually active, and I just thought to myself, like, but does that not concern us and Sarah that someone has asked that sort of question about their 15-year-old daughter? Why, as if someone was asking if my 15-year-old daughter was sexually active, I would be very concerned. Because that's not that's not a normal question for somebody to be asking in any sense of the word. It's not really normal for them to be asking if the child in question is sexually active. Like, it's just horrible, really. Obviously I just only Jolie's. Now, if you've watched my previous videos about the Sahoni Jolie's, you'll know that I have mentioned about some of the comments that I've seen being posted on Jonathan's TikTok videos, practically every day. Now, thankfully, you don't see too many of these comments on YouTube, but you do still see them on TikTok. Like, every single day, every single time. This is what it feels like. It feels like every single time Jonathan posts a TikTok video, there's always comments from people, asking from someone asking if Edie has had her private parts chopped off. The recent video he put out. So again, someone asking if Edie had it cut off. And you know what people are talking about when they're asking that. And you report comments like that to YouTube, to TikTok, and nothing gets done. So TikTok basically say, it's not okay to post a comment calling somebody a bastard, or see you next Tuesday, or whatever, or or wanker, or something like that. But it's okay for people to be posting comments talking about a 10-year-old child's private parts. It's okay for people to be posting comments talking about a 10-year-old child having their private parts chopped off. Like, how is that considered fair, that it's okay for people to post comments like that, but you post a comment calling somebody a bastard or see you next Tuesday, and it gets removed? Like, I don't get how that even makes any sense. For a comment wanting somebody a bastard or a hunt to be removed, but a comment from someone posted let me get my tongue. A comment asking for someone talking about a 10-year-old child's private parts is considered absolutely fine and acceptable. And it would probably be the same thing with YouTube as well. If I was to report a comment like that to YouTube, it wouldn't get removed. But if I was to post a comment calling somebody a bastard or something like that, it would probably get removed as it's classed as harassment and bullying. It's an absolute joke. I still can't make sense of these, laws and stuff these days with regards to YouTube and things like that. But it doesn't impress me, at all, the fact that people are posting comments like that about a child. But this is what Jonathan is exposing his children to, or his child to, every single day, basically on a daily basis. This is what these parents are not bothered about, is what they could be exposing their kids to on a regular basis. They don't start to think about the fact that they could be exposing it is to paedophiles or child predators or something like that. Because that's what they're exposing their kids to. They're basically exposing their kids to, child predators and paedophiles on a daily basis. There is nothing good that can be said about this. There's nothing. I honestly don't know what I'm actually supposed to say about this. There isn't really anything I can legally say, I can really say about it. other than this is what, these family vloggers really need to be thinking about, is what they're exposing their kids to. They need to stop and think about the dangers that are out there on social media, the kind of people that are learning about, out on social media these days, and what they do with images of young children, it's not really something that you want to think about, but, sometimes these people need to stop and think about, these parents need to stop and think about that, I mean, it's just ridiculous, really. There's nothing else I can say about it. Like, as I said, I don't get how these parents can even sleep at night knowing that their kids are out there for the whole world to see. It's just, a lot of these family vloggers need to start getting their priorities right. They need to start focusing on the things that are more important, like the safety of their kids, for example. But this is the problem. As I said, they're putting their kids out there every day, right? But how do they know that there aren't paedophiles and child predators watching videos of their kids? And they say for definite that people like that aren't actually watching videos of their kids. But it's not, because they don't know that for definite. They can't say that paedophiles and child predators are not watching videos of their kids, because they don't know that for definite. And the sad truth is, there's probably a very good chance that there are paedophiles and child predators watching videos of their kids. I had to say it. I think there's a very good chance of that. This isn't me trying to scare people. This is just me speaking the truth. A lot of these family vloggers do need to think about what they're exposing their kids to, and the risks that and the risks that come with sharing certain things online. Like, it's just madness what you're seeing out there on social media these days. What these family vloggers are doing. It's sad that they're continuing to get away with exploiting and abusing their children in so many ways. These are not great parents. These are all I see are parents who are just exploiting their kids and using their kids as content. I mean, on the DNMs, right, all they do is complain about the fact that people are saying horrible, they've complained so many times, right, they've had a rant so many times about the fact that people were saying negative things about, the kids and everything, and I'm not condoning the fact that, I'm not condoning anyone saying negative things about the kids. I'm not going to say that people are right to do that, because they're not. I mean, have a go and say horrible things about the parents by all means, but there's not really a need to say horrible things about the kids, so to speak. But the problem with the Inhams is they rant about it. They've ranted about things like this so many times, but they do have a logical solution to this problem. And the logical solution to this problem is taking their kids off social media. If they don't like the fact that people are saying negative things about their kids, or being horrible towards the kids, take the kids off social media. It's the best thing. It would be the best and moral, and probably the most logical thing to do, and probably the most sensible thing for them to do in the grand scheme of things. This just has to be said. Someone had to say it. I know that probably sounds a bit harsh, me saying that, but someone had to say it. Someone has to make that point. At the end of the day, it's just, look, they obviously can't deal with, the negative comments every single day. They obviously can't deal with the fact that there are people out there who don't agree with what they do or how they make a living. They can't have that. Don't do social media. It really is that simple. It can't be any more simpler than that. It has to be said. I do think that they really need to look at things from a different perspective, from a different point of view. You know, and just I don't know, like that's just, you know, just think about it, you know. It wouldn't be a bad thing for them to think about, you know. At least show that they're willing to do, you know, they should at least show that they're willing to, well, they can at least show that they're willing to do the right thing. You know, it's not the end of the world. You know, I'm not trying to cause World War III here in the comment section, just so that you don't know that. I'm only really making a point that needs to be said, and that is that sometimes they should be thinking about who or what they might be exposing their kids to, because they don't know that, but they don't know for definite that there aren't, you know, paedophiles and child predators watching videos of their kids every day. It has to be said. You know, it's like, how do they know for definite that there isn't a child predator or paedophile watching videos of their kids and saving videos of their kids? You know, and I don't think many of these parents would even care about that. You know, as I've said so many times when I was saying about Jonathan Jolie with these inappropriate comments that are being posted on his TikTok videos, I've often said that I don't think he would be, you know, he can't be completely oblivious to the fact that people are posting these comments. You know, he's probably fully aware of the fact that people are posting these sorts of comments about Edie on, you know, on a lot of his TikTok videos, but he probably just doesn't care. You know, he's probably not bothered, you know, about the fact that he's probably not bothered by that. He's probably not bothered by the fact that, you know, people are posting comments, you know, the sort of comments that they're posting on his TikTok videos every day, always about, you know, and always about Edie, as I said. You know, he needs to take a long hard look at what he's doing and how he's doing it. You know, he needs to think about, he needs to think about doing the right thing for Edie. You know, the best thing he could probably do would be to take her off social media for their sake. Same with Ian, the best thing that they could do for their kids would probably be taking their kids off social media to protect them and keep them safe. You know, instead of exposing their kids to paedophiles and child predators on a daily basis. You know, what these family vloggers are doing is they're basically giving their kids to these child predators and paedophiles on a fucking plate. I'm sorry, someone had to say it, they're basically giving their kids to these child predators and paedophiles on a fucking plate. You know, it really is that simple. Yeah, obviously this isn't going to be the last video I do calling these family vloggers out, but you know, I for one will continue to fight against these family vlogging channels, and I hope that you guys will continue to fight as well. I hope you guys, you know, don't give up fighting this, because as I've said in yesterday's videos, we need to keep fighting this, you know, as hard as we can. You know, we need to, you know, show that we're willing to do, you know, to do the right thing to help these kids. Simple as that. So I hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you for another video, probably this afternoon, maybe. And I'll see you later on. Have a good day. I'll catch you later.